Oh my goodness, Leo. I had the funniest situation yesterday trying to order lunch.
What happened, Mia? Did you get the soup when you really wanted the sandwich?
Worse, it totally froze up trying to explain a simple allergy. I knew the words, but they just wouldn't come out in the right order?
Ah, the classic language block. You have the vocabulary, but your mouth just hits the mute button.
Exactly. And it made me think, even when talking about something simple like food and our favorite dishes, we often worry too much about perfection.
That's a brilliant thought. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Leo.
And I'm Mia.
Welcome to the English Blend. We help you speak English naturally.
Today we are diving into that exact feeling, talking about food and favorite dishes, but really we're talking about communication and fluency.
We'll discuss how to stop that internal freeze-up, whether you're ordering coffee or talking to your boss. Today we talk about the difference between fluency and accuracy.
We'll explain why grammar sometimes blocks your progress. We will offer some really practical tips.
Exactly. So grab your coffee and let's get started.
So, Leo, let's start with that crucial concept. When we talk about learning English, everyone wants to be fluent, right?
Absolutely. It's the ultimate goal for most learners. But what does fluency actually mean?
It's important to understand the difference between fluency and accuracy. They are not the same thing.
Right. Think of it like cooking a meal. Accuracy is having the exact right measurements for every ingredient.
And fluency?
Fluency is just getting the food served hot and on time. You might have put in a little too much salt, but the people can still eat it and enjoy it.
That's a great analogy. Fluency is the ability to communicate smoothly without stopping all the time.
It means the conversation flows. It means you can express your thoughts and feelings quickly, even if there are a few small mistakes in your sentences.
And accuracy, on the other hand, is about being grammatically correct. Perfect verb tenses, flawless prepositions, and correct structure.
Many English learners focus 99% on accuracy. They spend years studying complicated grammar rules.
And then they get into a real-life situation, like ordering their favorite dish at a restaurant, and they freeze up because they're mentally checking their verb tense.
They're thinking, is this present perfect continuous? Did I use the right conditional?
By the time they figure out the perfect sentence, the waiter has already walked away.
Exactly. The key realization we want you to have today is that fluency equals communication, not perfection.
Communication is the goal. If the person you are talking to understands your meaning, you have achieved fluency, even if you use the wrong article.
For example, if you say, I want eat spicy noodle, the listener knows exactly what you mean. It's not accurate, but it is fluent. It gets your point across.
Get your point across. That's one of our key phrases for today.
Let's explain that simply. To get your point across means that the person you are talking to understands the main idea or message you were trying to share.
It doesn't matter if your English is perfect. If you get your point across, the communication was successful.
That's the definition of success in a real conversation. Think about that freezing moment when I was ordering food. If I had just said, no peanut, allergy, I would have gotten my point across immediately.
But because you are trying to construct the perfect sentence, perhaps, I regret to inform you that due to a severe immunological reaction, I cannot consume any Arachis hypogaea.
I doubt I could even manage that in my native language, but yes, I was overthinking it.
That overthinking is the biggest barrier to fluency. It comes directly from focusing too much on accuracy.
We're not saying grammar isn't important. Of course it is. Grammar helps you build complex ideas later.
But when you are in the moment, having a conversation or trying to talk about your favorite food, you must prioritize moving forward.
Think of it this way. Accuracy is the brake pedal, and fluency is the accelerator. You can't drive a car if you press both at the same time.
You just stall. And that feeling of stalling is what we call hesitation or the language block.
Let's discuss that block, because it usually comes down to one thing: grammar.
Why does grammar block fluency? Because the brain has to perform two separate tasks simultaneously. Task 1, find the meaning. What do I want to say? The what?
Task 2. Find the correct structure. How do I put these words together perfectly? The how. If you are an A2 or B1 learner, Task 2 takes too much processing power. Your brain is trying to access a complicated rule about relative clauses while also remembering the word for delicious.
That delay, that 3 or 4 seconds of silence, makes you feel nervous and it makes the listener uncomfortable.
And then you start apologizing for your English, which is the last thing you should do.
Let's give a common example. Imagine you want to describe the last time you ate your favorite dish. Maybe it was lasagna.
A perfect, comforting dish.
You want to say, I ate lasagna last Friday. Simple past tense.
But your brain starts cycling. Wait, is it I have eaten, present perfect, or I was eating, past continuous? Did I use the irregular verb correctly?
By the time you land on I ate, the conversation has moved on to favorite desserts.
The solution here is to just say, last Friday, I eat lasagna. A small mistake, but the message is delivered and the conversation continues. That's the crucial point.
We need to train our brains to accept imperfection as long as communication is successful.
Our goal is not to sound like a textbook. Our goal is to connect with another human being.
Speaking of connections, I have a quick story, a little cultural note about communication and food.
Perfect. I love a good food story.
This happened to a friend of mine, David, when he was studying abroad in Italy. He was still learning Italian, maybe A2 level.
Oh, the bravery of ordering food in a new language.
He wanted to try a local specialty, a famous dish with slow-cooked meat. He practiced the sentence perfectly. Vorrei ordinare il piatto speciale del giorno. I would like to order the daily special dish.
Very accurate.
He said it perfectly to the waiter, but the waiter asked a quick follow-up question in rapid Italian. Something about the side dish, maybe potatoes or vegetables.
David didn't understand the question because his listening wasn't trained for speed.
Exactly. He panicked. Instead of asking the waiter to repeat it slowly, which is perfectly okay, he froze up completely, focusing on the grammar of the unknown question.
Did he try to guess the answer?
He tried to answer the original question he had practiced, repeating, Vorrei ordinare il piatto speciale del giorno.
Oh no, he sounded like a broken record.
The waiter thought he was being difficult, or maybe that David wanted 2 special dishes. In the end, David ended up with 2 huge plates of slow-cooked meat and no side vegetables at all.
A feast, but a very awkward ordering experience.
It's a perfect example of what happens when the focus on accuracy, saying the original line perfectly, stops you from achieving fluency, asking for clarification, or just trying to get your point across about the side dish.
He hit a wall of comprehension. That's another great phrase we should look at.
When you hit a wall, it means you suddenly stop making progress or you face an obstacle that seems impossible to overcome.
David hit a wall when the waiter spoke too fast. Many learners hit a wall when they encounter complex grammar they haven't mastered yet.
Hitting a wall is a normal part of learning. It means you're challenging yourself, but you have to learn how to climb over it, not just stand there and stare at it.
And you climb over it by prioritizing forward momentum, prioritizing communication.
So, how do we actually move away from the accuracy trap and develop true fluency? We have 3 major practical tips for you.
These are real, actionable steps you can start today, even when you're just talking about your favorite kind of dessert.
Practical tip 1, massive passive listening.
This sounds overwhelming, but it's actually very relaxing. You need to consume English content constantly, even if you only understand 70% of it.
Watch YouTube, listen to podcasts like The English Blend, stream movies. The goal is not to understand every single word.
The goal is to let your brain absorb the natural rhythm, the word order, and the common phrases. You are teaching your brain how English sounds when spoken by fluent people.
When you listen massively, your brain starts creating patterns unconsciously. It stops treating every sentence like a grammar puzzle. It starts treating sentences like songs. You just know the melody.
This helps build automaticity, which is the cornerstone of fluency. You want to speak without thinking about the rules.
Think about how you talk about your favorite childhood meal. You don't analyze the grammar. You just describe it because you've told that story 1,000 times. Massive listening helps you encounter thousands of common structures without forcing you to memorize them individually. It's painless practice.
And the content should be enjoyable. If you love cooking, listen to English cooking shows. If you love video games, listen to English gaming commentary.
Make it relevant to your interests, like talking about your favorite foods, so the listening doesn't feel like studying.
Practical tip 2. Learn and use language chunks.
This is arguably the most important tip for fluency. Stop learning single words.
Single words are bricks. You can't build a house with just one brick at a time. Language chunks are pre-built walls.
A chunk is a group of 3 to 5 words that frequently go together, like a fixed phrase. Instead of learning I am going to the store, learn the chunk I'm going to. If someone asks you about your weekend plans, you don't construct the answer word by word. You just grab the chunk, I'm planning on, or I spent my weekend.
Chunks drastically reduce the mental burden. If you know the chunk, you don't need to check the prepositions or the verb conjugation inside that chunk.
Examples related to food. Instead of learning I want to eat, learn the chunk I'm craving a slice of.
Or instead of that food is good, learn that dish is absolutely delicious.
Knowing chunks allows you to communicate faster because you are pulling out large, pre-made units of language, not small individual pieces.
This is how native speakers talk. We use thousands of these chunks without thinking. We just connect them together like Lego bricks.
So, when you learn new vocabulary, always write down the phrase or the sentence it came in. That's your chunk.
And finally, the most powerful tool for overcoming hesitation, practical tip 3, the 3-second rule.
This is a strict rule you must follow in every conversation.
When someone asks you a question, or when you want to respond, you must start speaking within 3 seconds, no matter what.
If you wait longer than 3 seconds, your brain will switch from communication mode to grammar checking mode, and then you stall.
So if I ask you, what's your absolute favorite comfort food, Leo?
My absolute favorite comfort food has to be cheesy pizza.
See? Leo prioritized saying something quickly. He didn't wait to check if has to be was the perfect modal verb to use there.
If I had waited 5 seconds, I might have started thinking, wait, should I use is or would be? Should I mention this specific type of cheese?
And by the time you're ready, I've moved on to asking about your travel plans.
The 3-second rule forces you to use the language tools you have right now, not the tools you wish you had. It trains your fluency muscle.
You will make mistakes. And that brings us to our final core idea and phrase. We have talked about getting your point across and hitting a wall. Now, let's talk about dealing with mistakes.
When you prioritize fluency, mistakes are unavoidable. They happen to everyone. Even native speakers make mistakes.
The problem is that many learners treat every small mistake like the end of the world.
Which leads us to our final phrase. It's not the end of the world.
This idiom means the situation or the mistake is not serious or catastrophic. It's not something to panic about.
If you use the wrong preposition when talking about that delicious favorite dish you ate yesterday, is it the end of the world?
Absolutely not. Did the person understand you? Yes. Then the communication succeeded.
If you use she instead of he or forget the S on a verb, it's just a small slip. It's not the end of the world. Just correct it quickly if you notice, or just move on.
We need to normalize making errors in English. It shows you are learning, you are practicing, and most importantly, you are communicating.
Think about the times you are chatting with a friend who is learning your native language. Do you stop them and correct every small mistake?
No, you usually just focus on the meaning. You appreciate the effort they are making to speak your language.
That's exactly how native English speakers view your errors, especially in casual conversations about something fun, like food.
They care about the fact that you want cheesy pizza or that you're craving a slice of cake. They don't care if you used the wrong article.
So, the next time you find yourself correcting your grammar internally for more than 3 seconds, remind yourself, it's not the end of the world. Just say the words.
Because what's the worst that can happen? Maybe they misunderstand one word and you have to clarify.
Clarifying is part of communication. It's still fluent. Asking, wait, did you mean the sweet potato or the regular potato, is a fluent move.
It shows confidence. It shows you are engaged in the conversation, not just stuck inside your head worrying about grammar tests.
Let's review those 3 practical steps again, because they are key to developing that conversational confidence.
Step 1. Massive listening. Let the rhythm and sounds of English soak into your brain. Listen to English podcasts, even if you are just washing dishes or cooking your favorite meal.
Step 2. Use chunks. Learn phrases, not single words. Focus on those pre-made building blocks like, I'm looking forward to, or that was delicious.
Step 3. The 3-second rule. Force yourself to start speaking quickly to avoid the grammar trap. Push the accelerator pedal. Don't hit the brakes.
And use our confidence phrases. Remember to always try to get your point across. That's the main objective.
If you struggle or feel frustrated, remember that feeling is just a sign that you hit a wall, and that's a normal part of growth.
And finally, if you make a mistake, breathe, move on, and remember, it's not the end of the world. Communication continues.
We hope this episode helps you feel more relaxed the next time you have to talk about something simple, like your favorite dish, or something complicated, like a work project.
Remember, the goal of learning English is not to achieve perfect scores on a test. It's to connect with the world around you.
Practice these techniques daily. Even 15 minutes of dedicated, massive listening while you eat your breakfast helps build fluency.
Use chunks when you write short messages or when you talk to yourself in English.
And remember that the flow is more important than the flawless construction of every single sentence. Focus on the message.
We have a challenge for you this week. Try to describe your ultimate comfort food to a friend or even just to yourself using the 3-second rule. Don't stop to check your grammar.
Yes, just get your point across about how much you love that cheesy pizza or that incredible bowl of spicy noodles.
Don't worry if you hit a wall. Just keep talking.
It's not the end of the world if you miss a preposition.
That was a great talk. We covered so much about fluency versus accuracy, and we used food as the perfect relatable example to discuss communication anxiety.
We'll be back next time to dive into different ways you can practice English from home, maybe talking about how to describe smells and tastes.
Sounds delicious. Thank you for joining us today.
We hope you feel more confident about your English speaking now.
Yes, see you in the next episode of The English Blend.